Eric Draven, as a child, faces heartbreak when his horse gets tangled in barbed wire, struggling in pain. Desperate to help, he's left alone as his mother sleeps off a drunken stupor. He grips the wire, injuring his hands and leaving scars on his palms. The nightmare follows him for years. Meanwhile, in Detroit, a young woman named Shelley starts her own journey. One day, Shelley receives a chilling video from her friend Zadie, captured during a horrifying moment by their mutual friend. In the message, Zadie urges Shelley to use the footage to take down the ruthless crime boss, Vincent Rogue, and seek justice for his countless wrongdoings. But for now, they must flee the city. Shelley urges Zadie to stay put and wait for her, but Zadie feels uneasy, unsure if someone's trailing her. Her instincts prove right. The moment she steps into her apartment, it's clear. Someone's already there, waiting. Rogue's right hand, Marion, steps out from the shadows, snatching Zadie's phone and scanning her messages. Before Zadie can react, Marion's assistant injects her with a mysterious substance, and she's swiftly taken away. Sensing something is wrong, Shelley frantically calls Zadie's boyfriend, warning him to wait. Zadie's made a dangerous move. Stepping outside, Shelley can't shake the feeling she's being watched. As she hurries to evade her shadowy pursuers, she collides with a pair of policemen. Her purse hits the ground, spilling its contents, and among them, a packet of illegal substances. Shelley is arrested and sent to a rehabilitation center. There, she crosses paths with a now-adult Eric, who's battling his own demons from the past. The program is tough, but Eric stays on track, following the psychologist's guidance as best as he can. One day, Eric spots a new girl at the center, instantly captivated by her. But any relationships between residents are strictly forbidden. At the same time, Vincent Rogue, a notorious crime boss with a reputation for discovering musical talent, crosses paths with a gifted young pianist. He begins a conversation with the girl, but Marion interrupts, informing him that Zadie has been found. Rogue heads to the back room, where a terrified Zadie is being held, demanding to know Shelley's location. Zadie, however, pleads that she knows nothing. Rogue reflects on the countless lives he's taken over the centuries, admitting he'd gladly keep wiping out the filth headed for hell. But his master craves souls like Zadie's, pure and untouched. That's the deal. Rogue sends others to hell to escape it himself. As the girl pleads for her freedom, Rogue leans in close, whispering something chilling in her ear. Zadie's eyes go blank as she grasps a dagger and takes her own life. Rogue looks to the sky, as if guiding her soul away. Meanwhile, during morning exercises, Shelley catches sight of Eric, her curiosity piqued. At breakfast, Shelley breaks the rules and sits at Eric's table, sparking a conversation. They quickly hit it off, exchanging glances and sneaking in conversations whenever they can. During group activities, they stay as close as possible. Meanwhile, Marion locates Shelley through her mother, Sophia. Rogue's men are sent to the center to capture her. That day, Shelley visits Eric's room and finds his drawings, some of her, which she loves. She also reads his writings and realizes they could easily be turned into songs since she plays a few instruments. Eric proposes they collaborate, and Shelley agrees. Just then, an announcement says Shelley has visitors. Eric peeks out and, seeing Marion, mistakenly reassures her, thinking he's a lawyer. Shelley freezes in fear when she spots the woman and begs Eric to help her hide. Unsure where to go, Eric quickly takes her to the laundry room, revealing windows that offer a chance at escape. First, they need to remove the trackers. Eric frees Shelley from her bracelet, then does the same for himself. When she asks why, he smiles and says he's tired of the center and plans to join her. The couple escapes, scaling a fence and fleeing into the woods. They reach a road and hitch a ride with a trucker headed to the city. Shelley then takes Eric to her friend's empty apartment as he's away. The couple grows closer, finding comfort in one another. They spend time reminiscing, sharing their pasts, and dreaming of the future. One night, sitting on the roof, they talk about love and realize they've found it in each other. Meanwhile, the police discover Zadie's body and quickly inform Rogue, interrupting his enjoyment of the pianist's performance. Furious, he orders Marion to find Shelley and put an end to it, fearing the video could ruin his reputation. She admits she once loved playing, but her mother forced her to perform in places no child should be. She saw things that scarred her deeply. Shelley feels guilty for the pain caused, but she can't reveal the full truth, fearing Eric will leave. Eric, however, reassures her, saying he can't live without her. One night at a club, Shelley meets Zadie's friend, who reveals her murder and warns Shelley to leave the city. Shelley quickly pulls Eric away, vowing to explain later. But as they return home, Rogue's men ambush them. Eric and Shelley die, their souls drifting into the space between life and death. Separated, Shelley is cast into the abyss, while Eric finds himself in limbo, awaiting judgment. In limbo, Eric meets a mysterious spirit, Kronos, who tells him the crow guides souls to their next path, rest or a fight against injustice. The crow will reveal Eric's fate, but Eric, doubting it all, tries to walk away. Kronos urges Eric to wake up and pushes him. Eric jolts awake in his apartment, searching for Shelley, but she's nowhere to be found. Suddenly, Eric hears Marion's henchman, back to retrieve Shelley's phone after the killers were interrupted. The man, posing as a policeman, orders Eric outside. Confused, Eric admits he's lost touch with reality and doesn't know what's happening. The policeman suddenly shoots and Eric falls, but he quickly rises, startling the man. A struggle ensues and Eric is stabbed in the stomach. Eric pulls the knife out and keeps fighting, eventually killing the policeman with it. He watches in shock as his wounds heal. Stunned, Eric steps into the street, remembering Kronos' words about souls trapped by grief. Suddenly, he spots Shelley on a bridge, ready to jump. He shouts for her to stop, but she leaps into the water. Eric dives after her, facing Kronos again. He now realizes they're both dead. Kronos reveals that Shelley is descending to a place far worse than this one. Their killers made a pact with the devil, gaining eternal life by sacrificing innocent souls. To bring peace to their own, Eric must avenge their deaths. His body can no longer be killed, but the pain will always remain. As long as his love stays pure, the pain endures. Kronos pushes Eric back into the living world, where his first move is to visit a friend and grab a gun. Eric tracks down Shelley's mother, who blames everything on her daughter's substance abuse. But Eric knows the truth. Fearful, Sophia stays silent as Eric searches Shelley's room, discovering photos and Zadie's theater pass. Eric arrives at the theater and confronts his killer, who isn't surprised to see him. Demanding his master's name, Eric watches as the man reaches for his gun, but is killed by a stray bullet. Eric grabs his phone and discovers Marion's name. At that moment, Eric sees Marion getting into a car with her assistant. He steps into the road, but the thug quickly realizes the danger and tells Marion to duck. Eric fires, then jumps into the car, trying to kill them, but the assistant blocks him. Eventually, Eric is thrown onto the road, right in front of a speeding truck, but his unkillable nature allows him to recover. That night, Rogue visits Sophia, demanding to know why Eric came. She confesses that Eric will do anything to bring Shelley back. It turns out Sophia had sold her daughter's soul for wealth, a choice she now regrets. Rogue condemns her soul to hell, and in despair, she leaps out the window. He then gets into the car, where the young pianist waits, and calls Marion, ordering her to capture Eric, who has returned. Meanwhile, Eric tracks down Zadie's friend, accusing him of betrayal. Terrified, the boy admits that Marion is just a pawn. The true mastermind is Vincent Rogue, capable of devilish deeds. With his voice, he can infiltrate minds, forcing people to commit horrific acts. The boy admits he filmed the video that led to Zadie and Shelley's deaths. Eric spares him and heads to the apartment where they once hid after escaping. He recalls happier times with Shelley before discovering her hidden phone. He watches the video of Shelley, under Rogue's control, brutally killing her friend. The weight of it all becomes unbearable for Eric. He visits their mutual friend, admitting he's overwhelmed by doubt and heavy thoughts about his love. Just then, two of Rogue's thugs storm in, abduct Eric, and kill his friend. Fueled by rage, Eric breaks free and fights back. He is shot and dies once more, returning to the afterlife. Facing Kronos again, he's told he's lost his healing powers for failing to complete his mission and doubting his love for Shelley. Now, her soul is condemned to eternal darkness. Eric is promised an easy eternity, and Kronos urges him to let Shelley go. But Eric pleads for Kronos to take his soul instead, in exchange for saving Shelley's. Kronos warns they'll never be together, but Eric accepts eternal torment to save his beloved. Suddenly, a flock of crows fills the sky. Kronos cuts both their hands, joining their blood. Eric writhes in pain as black blood clouds his eyes, granting him the power to fly between worlds like a crow. Now, he has a chance to seek justice and kill Rogue. Rising from the dead, Eric uses his killer's own weapons to destroy them. He then discovers a text revealing Marion's location at the theater. He applies menacing makeup, grabs his weapons, and heads out. Meanwhile, Marion reports to Rogue that Eric is dead, but the news leaves Rogue far from satisfied. As the show starts, Marion and her crew focus on the performance. Eric slips into the theater, silently taking out Rogue's guards one by one. They attempt to stop him, but he ruthlessly cuts through, leaving a trail of bodies in his wake. Knives and bullets have no effect on Eric as his wounds heal instantly. Marion informs Rogue, who calmly thanks her for her service. Meanwhile, Eric confronts Marion on the balcony, demanding Rogue's whereabouts. Reluctantly, Marion gives up the address before Eric beheads both her and her guard. He tosses their heads onto the stage, sending the audience into panic. Amid the chaos, Eric spots Shelley, recalling her wish for a bouquet of lilies. He grabs the lilies, leaves them on the bridge, and heads to Rogue's estate. Walking straight into Rogue's room, he finds the villain mocking his plan to bring Shelley back, revealing he's just flesh and blood too. Rogue taunts him, but Eric refuses to believe Shelley is guilty. Rogue stabs Eric, claiming he's consumed by hate, not love, and attempts to steal his powers. But Eric focuses on his happiest memories, pulling Rogue into the afterlife, where he easily kills him, sending his soul to hell and saving Shelley's. The girl emerges from the abyss and embraces Eric, but he gently tells her he can't return. She refuses to leave without him, but their fate is sealed. Nothing can change. Shelley wakes on the night of their death, seeing Kronos as a medic, who reveals Eric sacrificed his life for hers. She weeps while Eric recalls their brightest moments, trusting their souls will reunite one day. This film is one of love, pain, and an eternal fight for justice that never truly ends, even after death. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos like this.